The following program is brought to you by Cloudcast Media, a podcast leader in developing shows to elevate local brands, local stories, and local storytellers. Cloudcast, bringing ears and minds home.
The San Diego Union Tribune and Retirement Strategies Group present the Union Tribune Community Spotlight Show with your host, Drew Schlossberg.
I'm Drew Schlossberg of the San Diego Union Tribune, and pleased to have in the studio with us today some cool cats from the Barrio Logan College Institute. Barbara Ybarra, she is the interim CEO, joined by Jose Vallejo, an alumnus of BLCI and the executive director of Urban Life of San Diego, which we'll find out about. So, Barbara and Jose, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having us.
Absolutely. So, Barbara, it's been a while since I've seen you. How you doing?
I'm doing great. Thank you for having us on today.
Right, you and your sister creating trouble as usual?
Just a little bit.
Just a little bit. I wouldn't have it any other way over here. So you've been involved with the Institute for a while, correct?
I have, for just over 3 years.
3 years, right. And so now you became the interim CEO.
Yes.
Talk about it. What do you guys do? What's your mission?
So our mission is, since 1996, our mission has been to prepare students to be the first in their families to go to college through after-school programs starting in the third grade. And the idea behind it is to break the cycle of poverty.
Right. So then this is an after-school program, correct? Okay. So they've gone to their K-12, whatever the case may be, and then they go to your place. Do you have a site that they go to, or do you go to the schools themselves? How does that work?
Great question. So we have, in Barrio Logan, we have a site, and we're excited to talk to you about our new site today.
Okay.
But we do have a site there, and then in Chula Vista, El Cajon, and downtown San Diego, we go into the schools. We work in those areas.
Right. So then how do the kids get to your site? I mean, do you serve more than just Barrio Logan, do you not?
We do. We unfortunately, because transportation is an issue and a cost, it is up to the parents to bring the students to the facility.
Sure.
But in Barrio Logan in particular, we do have a lot of students that can walk there because although they go to school outside of the neighborhood, they still come back into... They live in Barrio Logan, so they still are able to get there easily.
Now, is it available grades 3 through 12 or 3 through 8 or is there a limit?
We're grades 3 through 12.
Okay.
And then we also, because the focus, when BLCI first started in 1996, it started as the Barrio Logan Elementary Institute. And the idea behind that was to get students to graduate from high school. We've evolved from that. So now we work with students as they are in college because our goal is to get them graduated from college, not just into college. Right. And we do have a 100% success rate.
No, I can't get much higher than 100%. How many people go through the program each year?
This year we'll be serving 1,075.
And is it growing every year?
It's growing every year.
That's terrific. So, Jose, you're an alumnus, correct?
That's correct.
When did you start going?
I actually was part of the 1993 pilot program out of Perkins Elementary, and I remember we used to meet out of the library there. And in the evenings, whenever we had after-school tutoring, we'd borrow space from some office spaces here in downtown San Diego.
Right. So you were the guinea pig, and obviously the success is huge, and congratulations on you.
Thank you.
And Urban Life San Diego. When you first got there, was it your parents that recommended it? Was it teachers that recommended it? How'd you find out about it?
Sure. I still remember being in the fourth grade classroom. I believe it was Ms. Von Felt who was my teacher, and there was a posting on one of the clipboards there about an after-school pilot program, after-school tutoring program. And so my mom saw it. She took one of the numbers and then called up, and you signed up for the program. So then
you did this in 1993 as a fourth grader, right? Did you go through it through your high school career?
So I did. Actually, I went through it for those couple of years that the pilot was on, and then I think in 1996, BLEI almost closed its doors. And I still remember Beatriz Valencia. She was kind of taking over the reins at that time, and she was in my parents' living room advocating for them to support me getting back into the program because she was going to go around and gather some support to keep the doors open. And so we've come a long way as BLCI since that time.
You know, when you hear success stories like that, you know, the ones that are up and down and all over, and now you guys are killing it, obviously. Looking forward to hearing about the new, building and all that. And then you look at the good it's done. It's immeasurable on this aspect of it. Did you have, when you were a fourth grader, did you look at college? Boy, I'm not sure if I can make it, or doggone right, I'm going to go to college. What was your thoughts?
Well, college was not something I'd ever heard of.
Right.
So that's number one. I mean, growing up in Barrio Logan,
right.
What you hear a lot about is, well, for me, my generation, which I was born in the 80s, so gangs were a big thing culturally, and as a young male, being a strong young male was a big deal. It's always been a big deal growing up in Barrio Logan because you got to take care of yourself, getting to home, to and from school. And so college was not top of mind or a big cultural theme. BLCI, in fact, was the first place in the first setting where the theme of college came up. And I remember in the library, and I know we always refer to this point anecdotally, but in the library, we do a little reading club for about 20 to 30 minutes. And then at the end, Julio Galindo, who was the gentleman running the program at the time, he would just scream out, "Who wants to go to college?" Nobody knew. And even in my pilot cohort, no one knew what that was. But he would say with such passion that you knew you had to go there. And so that was kind of when the first seed was inserted in our mind, I think. And over the years, BLCI did lend itself to many different opportunities. For me specifically, I don't know if you want me to get into that right now, but
no, we're going to save the second half of the show, and then I'm going to have you be the host of the show from now on, because you've got a great radio presence. I'll tell you that right now. Absolutely, no, I think that's terrific. We're chatting with Jose Vallejo. He is an alumnus of the Barrio Logan College Institute and the executive director of Urban Life. San Diego, joined by Barbara Ybarra. She is the interim CEO of the institute. So you joined it 3 years ago. You became interim CEO recently, correct?
Correct.
And then you've got a new building. Talk about this.
We do. We're very excited. So our very big project for 2020 is a new headquarters there in Barrio Logan. When we started looking at our possibility of new space, there was not a whole lot that was available in Barrio Logan, so we did start to look in National City. We thought about going into East Village, and the parents of the program, because they're such a big part of it, said, no, we need to stay in Barrio Logan. There's nothing else like that here, and it's a really special place. So fortunately for us, the local business owner of Diego and Sons Printing, the Aguilera family, was looking to lease out their space. So we took possession of it last July, and we've been in capital campaign mode since then, and also working on a big tenant improvement project that is about 3/4 of the way done today.
Right. So how far are you on the capital campaign?
We've raised $1.1 million of the 3.5 goal.
Very, very good. And then, so with our listeners who said, all right, I want to go to the website, I want to find that donate button, and I want to contribute to this capital campaign, where do they go and how do they do it?
They go right to www.blci.org. On the very front page, you'll see a picture of some of our actual graduates, and you'll see across the top it says Inspire Opportunity, and there's a link there, a donate button there.
Right. So what will the new building be able to offer?
Great. So we're really excited. We spent a lot of time with the family and the students and the staff talking about what would a new building look like and what would be, what would we like to see. The one major thing that we would like to see would be a space that is quiet for studying. And right now we have study space in our multi-purpose room, but it's also where the tutoring takes place. It's also where you and I can meet one-on-one. So we're able to have a small library space that is completely quiet for studying. A lot of our students don't have study space carved out in their home.
Right.
We also have 2 classrooms for more one-on-one attention, either through tutoring or just some kind of counseling or talking about things that were really important and came out of a study that we were doing with some interns from SDSU. And then we have a great big new administration building, so we're able to completely centralize all of our operations for all of the locations out of the Barrio Logan headquarters.
Yeah, I looked at you got a pretty strong board, of course, and see a couple of my friends that are on there right here, Susie Villegas, and Laura Dietrich works with me I'm sitting on the USD Souls Advisory Board as well on this, and it takes volunteers, it takes board members. Obviously, you know this better than anybody. Are you looking to grow the board? Are you looking to grow volunteers?
Absolutely. We're always looking for people for the board. We're very passionate about education, and education being the answer to a way out of poverty.
Right.
And then we're also looking for volunteers because we need to tutor students. We need to have others be a part of it. The other thing that's been great are people coming in to talk to our students every month about their careers, so that you're exposing to other opportunities, just like Jose talked about right now,
right,
that he didn't know what it was until someone said it. So we really want to have the exposure to as many different careers as possible.
So I'm going to make this offer here and would love to have it. So the next time you folks are on, and I'd like to invite you back on, of course, Jose, why don't you bring on some of the students? Come on the air live. Okay?
Yes, fantastic.
And consider that done. We got a minute before we go to break on this over here. What college did you go to, Jose?
I had the privilege of going to Yale University.
Oh, very good. So just Yale. Okay, very good. See, you took my engineer, who was my college roommate, actually. We went to San Diego State. If we quadrupled our GPA, it might not get to 1/2 of what yours was, Jose. So congratulations to you. That is just it's a great university. Obviously, don't have to tell you that. When we come back from break, I want to talk about, because you're an inspiration to so many folks in this being an alumnus and, giving back and so forth. Want to find out a lot more about the urban life, San Diego, and think about those things that BLCI did for you to say, gave you the confidence, obviously, showing the skill sets to go to Yale and to do what you're doing, which is just phenomenal on this. Anyone who has not been to Barrio Logan recently, you need to go down there. That place is hopping and cool and great food and a great vibe, and it's just going to continue to grow through this leadership of Barbara Ybarra. She's the interim CEO, and Jose Vallejo, an alumnus of the Center for Urban Life. San Diego, I'm Drew Schlossberg, and you're listening to the Community Spotlight Show here on Cloudcast Media.
Cloudcast 180. Powerful people, powerful stories, 180 seconds.
Welcome to Cloudcast 180. We're here today with the president and CEO of Father Joe's Villages. Welcome to Deacon Jim Vargas.
Thank you, Charles. Good to be with you.
We have 3 minutes. Let's hit it fast and furiously. We're going to talk this morning with you about San Diego being a very expensive city, which creates a housing crisis, which is exacerbating the homeless crisis in San Diego. Let's talk about your leadership on this issue.
Sure, absolutely. We do have an affordable housing crisis here in San Diego. In fact, if you ask about the number one issue why people fall into homelessness, it's lack of affordability. And so they fall onto the streets, especially when rents go up, and rents are very expensive here. So we at Father Joe's Villages focus tremendously on housing. In fact, about 40% of our intervention is placing individuals into permanent and affordable housing. All right, so shows you the extent of what we do. And of course, there's services that go along with this, because in order for people to retain their housing, their dwellings, they have to have the services that they're necessary, whether it's mental health services or substance use disorder services, whatever that is. We have a Turning the Key initiative, whereby we'll be introducing 2,000 affordable housing units into the community during the next number of years. In fact, we just closed on a deal to purchase and refurbish a motel in the South Bay area. It's going to add 83 permanent supportive housing units. Next week, we'll be closing financially on a groundbreaking that will have 14-story building, 407 units of housing as well, taking about 550 people off the street. So housing is extremely important.
Which means you're investing a lot of capital. How are you finding that capital to solve the housing crisis in San Diego for homeless folks? 90 to 95%
of our funding is public funding. Various sources, whether it be from the state, it be local, county, city, municipality. So most of it is public funding. There's tax credits that are involved there. The capital stack is quite large, actually.
So you're finding the land, you're finding the capital, you're changing lives. How are you minimizing the risk of future homelessness for these clients of yours? We're
minimizing it through our services. We need to make sure that in order for them to retain the housing, that they receive the services that they need that are holistic and are comprehensive to their specific needs.
That's fantastic. Deacon Jim, in the last 10 years, your organization has taken 11,000 folks from homelessness to a home. So I congratulate you. Any closing thoughts for our audience?
No, that's what it's all